Alright, so the final property of exponents is the meaning of a negative exponent. A negative exponent tells you that the exponent that you have, the base with it, is in the wrong spot. If you have a negative exponent in the numerator, then, hey, that's not really happy there. Where it wants to be is in the denominator. So you take your base here, make it a reciprocal, move it down. Okay? Or if you have something that's already in a fraction and it has a negative exponent on it, it's not happy there. It wants to move up and be positive here. Now the exponent has meaning. It tells you how many times you're multiplying x by itself instead of having no meaning, because how can you multiply something by itself negative times? Okay, so here we go. When we're done with the problem and we see it have a negative exponent in it, we want to relocate that negative exponent. So we have x to the negative 2. It's not happy being x to the negative 2. It wants to turn over and be 1 divided by x squared. That's it. If we have 6 divided by x to the negative 5, the x to the negative 5 is not happy, and so we need to relocate it to join the 6. It'd be 6x to the 5th. My third example involves joining one of our rules from the first video, multiplying all the powers. So multiplying x, 3 and negative 2 makes negative 6. Y, negative 4 and negative 2 make positive 8. And then realizing that now the negative 6 means that the x's are not happy. So just the x's are going to move. They're going to move to the bottom of the fraction. The y will stay where it is. And so we'll end up with y to the 8th divided by x to the 6th. So the meaning of a negative exponent is that you need to relocate those problems, or those portions of the problem. Okay, here's two that are slightly more difficult to finish things up. This one looks impressively difficult, but it's really not so bad. Just remember to separate the numbers and the x's and the y's and deal with them at 3 separate times. So the first thing we look for is there any dividing or simplifying that can happen with 4/5? No. We have bases the same, so we should subtract the exponents. So 14 minus 6, the answer to that subtraction problem will be on the top of the fraction in the numerator. And then y's, the bases are the same, so we should subtract. So it'll be y to the negative 5, 10 minus 15. But the negative indicates that the y's don't want to be on top, they want to be back on the bottom. The reason they want to be back on the bottom is because there were more of them there to begin with, so it would make more sense to leave them there. So we send them back to where they're comfortable, and we'd have y to the 5th on the bottom. Okay? And a third one that combines rules from yesterday. Here, there are no exponents outside the parentheses, so these parentheses are just used as a multiply problem. So we want to multiply common types of numbers. We want to multiply our coefficients, 2 and negative 9, multiply to make negative 18. We want to multiply our x's. When we multiply, we will add exponents, so we would get 2, and we'll multiply our y's since the bases are the same, and when we multiply our y's we'll add them, exponents, so negative 8. Then we evaluate. The y's are not happy because they have a negative exponent. The x's are totally fine. And a number can be positive or negative as long as it's not an exponent. So 18 is fine. So the y's want to move. They don't like being at the top with the negative 18x squared. And so we end up with negative 18x squared divided by y to the 8th. Okay, give those a try on your own and ask questions as needed.